Stand by. Steady as she goes. Captain, welcome aboard the Liberty Belle. I'm your captain, Horace Bixby, and my pilot with me here on the Texas deck is a young cub that goes by the name of Sam Clemens. He's marking his 100th voyage down the river today with nary a calamity on his watch. So far. Sam knows this river like his own backyard. Sam, tell our guests everything you know about this river.
Well now, I always figure it is better to keep your mouth shut and appear stupid than to open it and remove all doubt. But I will tell you this, I love this river more than anything else. I've loved this river, even from the time I was a child. Before we get too much further out of port, I think I should mention that you best not be sitting on those handrails. They're the only thing between you and the river, and the river don't always take kindly to uninvited guests. We've also had reports of river pirates operating in the vicinity, so I wouldn't lean out beyond those rails for that reason either. Now, for those of you on the port side, that river town we passed through is frontier land. A few years back, it was no more than a boom town carved out of the wilderness by a handful of settlers looking to start new life. Today, utilities and big programs are running rampant. Oh, it still has its share of footloose trappers, keelboaters, prospectors, and India too, but mostly it's flush time and well on its way to become a fine big city. Frontierland reminds me some of my own hometown, Canada. It takes me back to when I was a barefoot boy growing up alongside the riverbanks. You know, it seems to me that when I was young, I could remember every day, whether it happened or not. But as I grow older, I seem to remember only the things that never happened at all. Was my stomping grounds when I was young. Exceedingly young. Marvelously young. Young by hundreds of years. Younger than I will ever be again. It's called Tom Sawyer's Island and is named for a friend from my boyhood. Even today, the only way you can get there is by raft. Old man Harper's grain mill is there, back in the woods just off Tom's Landing. And that's Muck Potter's pond and his windmill. We almost hanged Muck once. And there's Muck's Landing. I always did like Huck. He could swear just wonderful. He and Tom and I spent most of our wild and reckless youth exploring that island. Lots of caves, lots of adventure, if you know where to look. And we all knew where to look. That's Superstition Bridge. It connects the Big Island with Liberty. And if you follow the wilderness trail there, it'll lead you right up to the gates of Fort Langford. It's the last trading outpost before they head into the Indian country.
Tomás. Tomás.
birds out all over the place, like the tea kettle left on the fire too long. Indians down here used to tell me these geysers were actually unfriendly spirits, upset by uninvited trespassers traipsing all over their sacred hunting grounds. Be that as it may, that's Big Thunder Mountain poking up in the sky over there. The Indians named it that because of the sound the falls used to make when the big rains came. Big speculators showed up, and the name stuck because of the sound of the blasting powder going off every few minutes. There's not so much blasting these days. Ghost stories. A runaway mine train loaded down with simple-hearted, terror-filled folks like you. Look who's drifted out of the bayou. Off the port, Captain. It's Beacon Joe.
Old Beacon's been marking this river for longer than I can remember. Every time the river cuts a new channel, Old Beacon puts out a marker to let us know whether it's safe to travel or not. However, Sam here has been bragging that if push came to shove, he could navigate the Liberty Belle on a heavy duty. Isn't that so, Sam?
Well, I was born humble, Captain, but mostly it's worn off.
Captain, Indian Village to port. Now that's something you don't see much out this way. That's an Algonquin Indian village. Looks to be from the Powhatan tribe. Usually they stay further east. I've seen Seminole and Miami this far west. And of course Shoshone, Blackfeet, and Crow, but I've never seen Algonquins out here.
Lots of game out this way. I've seen moose and deer and plenty of other critters along the shoreline.
Could be why the Powhatans are out this far. Just following the food trail. They said our riverboat was a comet of the sun. up that hill is their sacred burial ground. And those who fall in battle are placed atop the traditional bed of death. After nightfall, they'll return to mourn the great warriors who brought honor to the tribe.
Attention deck watch. Shoals to port and starboard. Engine room, steady on.
We're entering shallow water, but there's no cause for worry. Sam knows every shoal and shallow, every snag and sandbar in this part of the river, and he'll navigate us through the safe water. You wouldn't steer us wrong, would you, Sam?
I believe we ought never to do wrong, Captain. Especially when others are looking. Leadsman, sing out.
What a last be.
Those of you who have been this way before know that the water can get fairly shallow along this stretch of the river. The leadsmen call out the depth. Each mark is a fathom, 6 feet. Mark Twain is 2 fathoms, and for us that means safe water.
Captain, we're passing Cutthroat Corner. Attention deck crew, stay alert. If there's river pirates out here, this is where they'll most likely be. If I can hear them from here. But from all the commotion, it sounds like their interests lie elsewhere. Folks on deck look past the trees on the island. That's Fort Langhorne. Most of these old forts started out as trading posts. Then as settlers started heading west, the army came in and took them over. My feeling is, these days, there's a lot less frontier and a lot more civilization than is truly necessary. Leadsman, give me a deck reading. Sing out.
By the mark, halfway, mark one, mark three, no bottom, safe water, mark three, safe passage.
Mansion back over yonder there in the wood? I've heard folks hereabouts say it's haunted. They say it was built on sacred Indian burial grounds, and now it's filled with spirits. If you ask me, I'd say the ones telling those tales are the ones filled with spirits. What proof? Just ask them. They've got about 100 proof, I reckon. And whatever you do, don't strike any matches if they aim to breathe in your direction. You won't just be seeing ghosts. You'll be joining. We're approaching Liberty Square, which is home port for us. We'll be putting in the dock shortly, so those of you on the upper 2 decks might be in mind to collect all your parcels and head to the lower deck. Young youngins who want to take them in hand before they get out of hand. On behalf of the captain, myself, and the crew, thanks for flying the waterways with us. I hope I see you next time around the Riverboat.
Thanks, Sam, and thank you, everyone, for traveling the rivers of America with us today.
Engine room. Approach levee at 1/4 steam. And the bow line. Purser, check freight and cargo. All hands prepare to dock. All passengers, stand by to go ashore.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Liberty Square. Now it is time for these guys to bring their belongings and families and start heading down to the lower deck. And it's going to be all the way down to the lower deck of this wonderful riverboat. Once again, you are required to take your families and your personal belongings and your kids as well and start heading downstairs to the lower deck of this wonderful riverboat. And that will be your one and only exit. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Anyway, Liberty Square, I'm Liberty Belle. Thank you so much.